Greetings, Ranger fans. Bryan Montgomery here with head coach Brandon Hickman. The Rangers heading into the Region 2 final against Spring Westfield. It will take place this Saturday, 6 p.m. at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. Coach, the Rangers earned their first ever regional final bid with a big win over Klein Collins, 28-21. Picked up the victory with a touchdown in the final minute by E.J. Smith, and then the defense held strong. And the defense doing so two times. First, deep in Ranger territory on 4th and 2, you stopped them, and then the game-ending interception. And there's been so much talk about the offense, but in that game, it really was the defense that ended up helping and propelling the Rangers to the win.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that 4th and 2 before halftime was big. You know, it was key. They were trying to get a little momentum back in the game, and that was a big stop, by Fitzgerald and Pendola, Tommy Roy. I think Fitzgerald grabbed the leg, and the others came and cleaned it up. But that was a huge, I thought, shift there right before halftime, give us some momentum there. Just grinded it out. They had a good football team. I got to give Klein Collins a lot of credit. But our kids, they just kept fighting and battling, and then defensively, I thought we played good enough to win, and made some key stops in those moments. And then the pick at the end of the game I thought was huge by Fitzgerald. And then being able to drive down at the end I thought was big. The 5:58 on the clock, trying to take up a lot of clock. We were able to do that and seal the win.
And a lot can be said about E.J. Smith with 4 touchdowns, but I think one of the biggest plays in the game was Christian Alako on a jailbreak screen on, I believe, 2nd and 7, broke it off for about 37 yards, and it changed that situation from a field goal to a touchdown situation. Talk about that play, that breakdown, and to see a senior like Alako have his moment like that, how that felt for you as coach.
Well, I mean, it felt good because he's had a big year, for us. He's getting better in the playoffs too, and he's stepping his game up, making the catches that he needs to make, and blocking well. All of our receiving corps, I thought, has done a great job. And Rance, give Rance credit. He made some throws, I thought, the other night that were right on the money. A couple of fade balls that were perfect throws. And then getting the ball to Alako there. We had some linemen out there in front of him pulling. They did a good job blocking downfield. And then Christian, made a great play off of it. And then we were able to kind of chew some clock there, made them burn some timeouts late. We're in the same position, I feel like, against Longview. Except Longview, we had the lead. This was tied, so, they told everybody, just everybody calm down and let's do what we do. And I thought EJ did a great job taking the play clock down, and trying to wear the clock down at the end there and punching it in.
And talking about that time management, I think that's one thing we've seen that has made this offense so dangerous in the postseason. We saw that against Longview. We mentioned again, we saw it against Klein Collins. And a unit that really is key to that is that offensive line and how much of an impact they've made this postseason. Talk about that. And for you, former offensive lineman yourself, so much about the position. How much has this line really helped drive this offense during the postseason?
I mean, I feel like they're driving the offense. If you don't have a good offensive line, I think you're not going to be very good. And I'd put ours up with the best in the state. I think those 5 guys are really getting after it. They're doing a good job. And, it shows the confidence I have in them by going for it. I think we were on our own 28, 4th and 2, and I went for it and ran the ball. And then 4th and 4 on the goal line, the first drive of the game. I'm like, let's run the ball. We're going to get a hat on a hat. And I trust those guys, and I feel like they're going to get it done with EJ and Jake running back there and even Rance. And then a guy also, Sam Morales, came in there during the Wildcat and made a couple big blocks for us. That helped, spring EJ as well. So a lot of confidence in the linemen. I think we're very good up front. They play aggressively. They communicate with each other, and we got to have a big game out of these guys Saturday night.
In that matchup on Saturday night against Spring Westfield, a team that definitely has a lot of talent. One loss this year to reigning Division I 6A champion North Shore. Picked up a win over Waco Midway 35-7 this past weekend and finished the season ranked 6th in the state. Nothing really different for the Rangers. You've played some fantastic teams in the postseason, and so this is no different. But looking at what Ranger fans should expect from the Mustangs, kind of give us a breakdown of what Spring Westfield is going to bring to the table on Saturday.
I mean, it's just like we talk every week, in the playoffs, it's you versus you. You're not really playing, you got to know your opponent, but we got to be the best version of us. And I think that's why we've had success the past few weeks, and they got a good football team. They got a lot of speed. They have a quarterback that's a sophomore, but he's very talented. They got a running back that can really run the ball. He's fast, really fast. And they got some receivers they can get the ball too deep. They make big plays. They throw the ball deep a lot. So we got to make sure that we're containing the deep ball. And then defensively, their front 4. That's kind of how they roll. Those front 4 guys are their best defensive players. I feel like. They do a lot of stunts and movements with them up front, and then they're fast in the secondary and at linebacker. So, it's what we've seen. They're all good. Every team's good. But it's also, hey, we tell the kids, you throw the records out the window. The records don't matter. Just go be great that one night. That's all we're asking you to do is just be great that one night. Give us great effort and trust each other.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck to you this week again Saturday. The Rangers heading down to Houston, Texas to battle Spring Westfield. Kickoff 6 p.m. from the home of the Houston Texans, NRG Stadium. Be sure to get there early and cheer on the Rangers as they look to make the state semifinal in Division II 6A. And as always, be sure to keep it locked into JesuitRangers.org for all of your up-to-date Rangers info.